What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 5 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Malekith and Naggarond Inc. campaign. Naggarond Inc. is proud to announce the launch of our cutting-edge product, the iSword 15. The new iSword model has increased compatibility with its ARM processor, rendering all previous iSwords obsolete. Naggarond Inc. Think miserably. Anyway, as we saw last time, Malekith, or rather Crone Hellebron, by and large were able to finish off Valkyria's faction over at Dagrak's End, and her previous vassal, no longer because she's been destroyed, the Mung, have tried to attack the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, ultimately failing, and being seen off by only Furion and the relatively minor garrison therein. Once again, sieges in SFO are just a little bit tougher, so too bad for the AI. In terms of what we gotta do this time, well, Hellebron will be pushing out towards the glacier encampment in Ironfrost, and hopefully we will wrap up the Mung this episode, at which point she will start moving back through our own territory, looping around to head through the Road of Skulls here, where we will get her a bunch of Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves, as they will make up the bulk of her army until she has access to executioners. In the meantime, Malekith will probably march on southward towards the Naggarith faction. I mean, yeah, we could go for Chaos right now, but I figure we could probably deal a lot of damage to Naggarith by the time Hellebron gets here, and then attack Chaos together with Hellebron at the same time, because ideally we'll want to attack from two directions at once. Also, before we get going properly, two little points of housekeeping. First of all, once again, 300 likes and 30 comments have been reached previously, and the offers stand, so do drop them if you want the accelerated video updates to continue. Also, the third episode reached for 500 likes when I asked for 300, so it's only fair the fifth episode will be an hour-long special because of it. The other point of housekeeping, for those of you naming units, please don't name Dread Spears and Bleak Swords. I'm going to get rid of them all, and even if I don't, they're all going to die, so I really can't keep your, I really can't promise I'll keep your named units alive in that case. Other units are fair game, but Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, it's unlikely they'll be kept around. Anyway, let's begin. So first of all, Ava, we were marching you out here to help out with the Altar of Ultimate Darkness, but that looks like it's no longer necessary, so we're going to march you back down, let's say, through the Chill Road. Let's say here, you know what, just march stance all the way. I'm going to transfer all of these units to Admiral Yorn, and you know what, we can use Ava to recruit Witch Elves for Hellebron while she marches. Speaking of Hellebron and marching, let's move you out. Ugh, attrition. It's all attrition. Well, we could raid our own territory and take multiple turns, but I think we'll suffer attrition for a turn instead and hit the glacier encampment directly next turn, even at the cost of attrition. I doubt that they have a full army here. In fact, they don't have any army here, and the garrison is light, so I don't imagine that Hellebron, even having taken attrition damage, will have too much trouble. Also, by virtue of the lack of army here, Harkaldra will no longer need that wall, and we can replace it with another crafting district, as our economy is still in complete shambles. Really, the shambles of an economy is the main thing that is going to be gating us from acquiring ourselves another faction via subjugation. It makes me want to maybe pop one of these upgrades instead, namely either the income from raiding, which wouldn't be too bad, but the growth 30 settlements in frozen climates. That is certainly helpful, and I think probably the only really useful one. I mean, there's decent stuff here on Lord Recruit rank, always nice and stuff, but is it worth 100 subjugation or Witch King's authority at the time right now? I don't think so. We've got 10 turn buffs, but those are definitely not worth it at the current time. Even the research rate one. Although, this will probably shave a single turn off one of our researches. Well, you know what? If we pop this, we'll probably have to pop it next turn because we only have one turn remaining until this research is complete. Anyway, we will. Let's do the growth one. Our economy still gates this being super useful because even if our stuff grows, it can't be upgraded. So gonna have to be a little bit. gonna have to wait a little bit of a time before we can make use of it, but it's okay. We can't subjugate right now anybody anyway, so not a big deal. Alrighty, and I believe Malekith still has to move. Malekith, I want you to do two things. The first is you're going to head to Grond, thereby getting your construction cost reduction and allowing us to upgrade this gold mine, as well as, let's say, let's build another artisan's house here, and then let's upgrade the Darkhold at Ashrak, but otherwise we can't spend too much money, so that'll be all we do. Then you're going to head out to sea, my friend, and you're going to see the Blacklight Tower next turn, together with Admiral Yorn in tow, who is going to provide you with some help. Ooh, out of curiosity, just curious here. If we take, let's say this unit. Oh, damn, you know what I wanted to see? I want to see if this heals faster in the Admiral's hold. 4 and 6 versus 3 and 8. So actually Malekith heals faster. Okay, well, too bad that unit is not healing now, but we'll go into Dread Expansion anyway. Well, it's good to know, because I would have otherwise not known it. We also have the Bleak Swords available, or the Ice Blades available now, so we'll probably put them into Malekith's army shortly, but not right now, and it's not like he needs them currently. Alright, that's it for this turn, so skip unassigned skill points we'll deal before we fight. Outpost available, I'd love to build it, but we need to build up allegiance, and we also need to... no missions available, and we also need to actually have the money to build said outpost. That's not going to happen right now. Alrighty. Now let's see how well Naggarond is going to defend. Honestly, I'd love to take them out before we... Sin Dance, what you want? Peace treaty. It's 1,800 money. Wait. Counter-offer. Yes, this will piss off Sigvald. Yes, this will piss off Malice, but Malice is a military ally, and we're able to take 1,800 money for this. We'll never be fighting these guys, and even if we are, either way, we're taking the money is what I'm getting at. It's actually one of the reasons I generally occasionally like to declare war on a bunch of factions that are kind of far away, because it allows you to then peace out with them after a while, and man, everybody's loyalty is dropping. It allows you to peace out with them after a while for a decent amount of time. The sacrifice to authority is clearly not doing stuff, since our heroes are dropping in their loyalty. For those wondering why I haven't done the mission, once again, it's a very big buff in SFO for completing a quest mission, plus 25 control for all provinces, and a massive amount of casualty or punishment, as well as attrition immunity, which gives us a lot of benefits that we can use to counteract a subjugation/confederation, which is what I'm going to be saving it for. Hellebron, hit the glacier encampment, please. And I did not check what level it was at. You are at level 2, so you'll go back to level 1. One minor problem of this is I don't know whether you still have enough points to actually occupy it after you sack it, but nonetheless, I think we're gonna sack it. It's a decent amount of slaves and a decent amount of money, and it'll still be cheaper. Yeah. And please don't move too far away. Ah, you did not. Perfect. I guess we could raid for a turn, but there's no need. You can heal up in the glacier encampment instead. Occupy it. The public order is going to be a bit of a problem, but hardly an issue for us right now. Glacier encampment, you have one of these conscription halls here, which we don't need at the current time. And yes, it's cheaper to repair it than not. And then Hellebron will take 2 turns to head to Ironfrost. I'm gonna keep Furion here for the next couple of turns, just in case another army comes by, but I doubt that it will. As somebody pointed out in the comments, a good tech to go early on is the Revel in Suffering for the growth per region plus 10 after winning a battle. So we're gonna go for that one next, and then we'll see about the others. I'd love to get upgrade 1, mostly because via Forged to Kill and reworked crossbows, we can considerably upgrade our Dark Shards, but, well, it's going to be a while before we get to that. Then, since Malekith is good to go, here's what we'll do. First of all, you are going to transfer Malekith back his 1 Dread Spear. Malekith, you are going to loop around here. Oh, you can't quite reach Blacklight Tower. That's okay. Stay right here, and we'll hit it next turn. It looks like there are no defenders at the current time. But you just can't reach it. Oh. Can you land here, though, is the question. Because if you can land here, you can at least raid. Let's try landing. Ah, you can land. Fantastic. Raid for decent amounts. Very decent amounts, in fact. Alrighty. Admiral Yorn, you're going to stand out here. And, oh, actually, I made a mistake. You are not going to stand out here. You're going to go all the way out here. Because we're going to want to transfer Ava's troops to you. Dread expansion minus Sagalis, the Master, who is going to head to Harganeth, because he has the cost reduction via Malicious on Cult of Cain and Pleasure Buildings. Not much, but it's dishonest work. Miserable work, I should say. You go out here, Mr. I forgot your name already, Sagalis, and it says, well, that I forget your name because we're going to be deleting you later. You are going to...
Dreadlord of Naggarond.
Maybe we should heal up for one more turn before transferring. You know what? Go to the Great Arena, and then we'll transfer next turn. The thing is, you heal faster here, and we'll transfer to Admiral Yorn. Granted, the Admiral's probably going to be using mostly Blackheart Corsairs, but that'll be later. Now, is there anybody else that needs to move right now? Furia? No, I already checked you. My bad. Alrighty, Hag Grief. Ooh, yes, Hag Grief. We want the face of Hag Grief up and running ASAP. How much would it cost to instantly build this? 450? It's not crazy. You know what? Do it. Do it, and then immediately upgrade to level 2. 3.2k, it's expensive, but we need the ingots, we need the slabs, and we damn well need the cash. Let's also upgrade... No. I lied. We're not going to upgrade that. What we do want to upgrade is these things, because this is a reasonably decent cash cow province. And it will be probably a very slave-heavy province because it has 4 settlements. In fact, any 4-settlement province has to be made into a money province, whereas 2 settlement provinces are better off being used for various other things. Naggarond, as in capacities and special buildings. Now, we don't have any more money, which means we can't build the Sorceress's Abode, but I do want to prioritize it shortly. Anything else here that we need immediately? Probably not immediately. I would like to get the Harpy Roost here as well, as I do want some Harpies in a follower army because they're relatively cheap and fairly decent. We also have the Black Roads available for the income from all buildings, but that's probably going to be better in Harganeth and such. I do find it amusing that the Harganeth, the province, the Road of Skulls, Harganeth being the city of executioners, probably should mean that it's economically not a particularly viable city, but it's still going to be a cash cow province. That's the game for you. Admiral Yorn, you are good, and skip, and another end turn, unless there's diplomacy to do, which I doubt that there is at this time, but we can look into it. Alright, we gotta remember that we'll probably want to do a military alliance with the Ancestral Throng. We may have to actually manually conquer Karond Kar, because if we destroy these elves, we will, well, they won't be doing this for us, which they usually do. And oh, the elves are in fact losing. The monoliths just got wrecked by Silostra. Ooh. I'd be willing to fight Silostra at the same time, because she's captured one of our territories, and I doubt that it's going to fall to this Oh, actually, maybe it will, depending on if there's an army there. We'll see. We do, however, want to apply points to everybody but Malekith, in case we get attacked next turn. Let's get... Well, let's maximize everything here. The Fire Sorceress isn't going to stay in Malekith's army, but that doesn't mean she doesn't need to be here right now. And let's get you hard to hit, I guess, even though you're already very hard to hit. Or we could save the points and just massively buff Malekith, so that by the time he has his Black Dragon, he will have a lot of extra missile resistance. You know what, I think I'd like to get Foe Seeker, but then we can move on. Alright, as in move into Above Suspicion and stuff. And you have Blade Master, but I want you to get hard to hit. Well, technically you're going to get both. So, oh, actually, no, I lied. You're going to get Nobleborn Ruler for that extra leadership aura, especially as we're going to have a lot of infantry via the Black Guard in this particular army. Otherwise, I believe we're good and ready for another turn. Quick few turns, but that's okay. I'm sure we'll have plenty of fights this episode. It looks like Naggareth did not preemptively decide to declare war on us and attack us, and I Huh. Wait, what the heck happened here? Red Desert has been taken by the Ancestral Throng. But, wait, let me just... Oh, wow. That is interesting. We might need to... Okay, we might need to send Hellebron to help these guys. Peace with the Mung. And that's funny. Honestly, if there wasn't such a huge penalty to betraying things, I would take the money and then immediately betray them, but we need to be able to do at least some diplomacy, so we're not going to do that. Noses to the grindstone. Oh, hello. We just got a bunch of research, and I don't remember seeing this particular thing before, so I'm going to give it a quick read because I'm a sucker for the lore. Following successful raids on key targets in enemy lands, a number of enemy intellectuals have been acquired. With a little persuasion, their skills and experience have been harnessed. They have been put to work improving the level of technology available to you in order that he might score further victories over the hated foe and bring about rightful Druchii supremacy. Just as you intended, the rate of research has increased faction-wide and requiring very little effort from anyone other than the slaves, whose lot is to suffer and die. Swell, swell. Now, when they say noses to the grindstone, why do I have a feeling that the Dark Elves mean this literally? Anyway, cold one for Corhedron. I don't know who Corhedron is. Well, it is a master in some place. Alright, you go here. Alrighty, do we need to manually fight this? No, it doesn't look like it. That looks pretty weak to me. Now, who are you fighting? You're fighting Karant Kar, and you're fighting the Drowned. So the question here is, who will give us more money for joining this war? 1,400 from Karant Kar, and the Drowned.
The arcane currents flow
Oh, the Drowned are at war with Karant Kar. Oh, maybe we don't attack them until they kill Karant Kar? I'm not sure. Join war against Naggarond. Barely any money. Silostra, come on. I would have actually loved to ally with Silostra to get access to her units, but alas, not a possibility. We are going to then ask Karant Kar for this, and join war against Naggarond. We will take the... Huh? What? Wait. Did I... Oh, did I ask Naggarond to join war against Karant Kar? That was who was willing to pay a lot of money? Yeah, oh, I almost screwed that up. Damn. That would have been ugly. Then the Drowned are willing to pay us more money, right? My bad, my bad. Join war against Naggarond, 857. That's really not a lot from either one of them. Damn.
Cruel speak, kin.
Yes, I'm nickel and diming this. Yep, alright, well, we have no choice. The Drowned it is. Join war. Every single penny counts for our economy to kick off. Join war against Naggarond, not the other way around. Good.
Of course, of course.
Alright, swell. Oh, we also gotta remember that we have the non-aggression pact with the Drowned. We will probably want to break that. But in the meantime, Malekith, you're going to attack Blacklight Tower. You're going to... Oh, you're stuck. Huh. You shouldn't be stuck. Man, we've been having a lot of issues with the movement. This is the second time Malekith got stuck. A little bit unfortunate, but oh well, one more turn of a rating, I guess. You, Ava, are going to need to transfer all of your troops to Admiral Yorn here. Hopefully they'll be cheaper. We're at 1157. Let's see what we're at after the transfer. 1361. Okay, not a crazy difference, but something. And then you're gonna go back here because you're going to get Witch Elves and stuff for Hellebron. We have the upgrade for the Black Ark, but it's too expensive, so I think instead we're gonna get the Slave Hold in order to increase our slave capacities. And we might as well get the Torture... Nah, actually, you know what? 1,000 gold is a little bit iffy. Also, Admiral Yorn, do you have an ability that will... Ah, yes. Upkeep reduction for Lord's Army. That's what I wanted. And that is indeed what I wanted. Is there any other... Oh! You get research rate as well. Oh, Black Arks have some good stuff. What do you have here? Winds of Magic faction-wide. Casualties captured faction-wide. Ammunition faction-wide. And Vigor loss for monsters faction-wide. Oh, Black Arks. You got some good stuff all over the place. Alrighty, well, then perhaps we will not spend the points until we can get Ship's Navigator and some of the good stuff in there. Alright, well, that decides that. Crone Hellebron, you're up next. Let's head to Ironfrost, and we can raid on the way. Is there an army there? There is. But it's probably either going to run, or it's going to... it's probably going to run. And I guess we're sending Hellebron south to reclaim these territories and meet up with Gromby. He's probably going to reclaim them himself. Funnily enough, this is part of our Altar of Ultimate Darkness province, so we could go for it ourselves, but it's probably not big enough of a deal as we don't really care for those yellow climates. They're uninhabitable, right? Or unpleasant, whatever. Uninhabitable is red. Close enough. Let's see. Is there anything we want to get for more money? We definitely want to retool all of Harganethas in the province's buildings, but now is not the time. I do want to upgrade you, Chill Road, so we get more upgrades here. And we will want to pop a Diktat to reduce the stuff here in this province later on. Naggarond. Oh, right. I once again wanted to build the sorceress's abode. You know what? We'll build it next turn. And we do have a little bit of money coming in now. As long as we don't lose Hag Grief, it would be unfortunate to do so. We could use more slaves on this, but I think we'll save it for diktats. Yeah, the rest is fine. Alright. Alright. Lacking cash a little bit right now. Also, Blacklight Tower's a tier 2, which means we could sack it and then take it if we wanted to. As well. Do we want any rights popped? Winds of Magic, experience, sorceresses, casualties captured, income from post-battle loot, and replenishment rate. This one can only be happening every 50 turns, so I think we'll save this one. Sacrifice to Cain is pretty darn good after all. 10 turns until another Black Arc. We want as many Black Arcs as possible, so we'll definitely pop that. Alright, that's fine. Skip, and the turn. Let's see if Alethanar arrives to defend the Blacklight Tower, or whether he's actually dead right now. I would have loved to get his defeat trait, but for the life of me, I do not remember what it is. I very rarely have encountered Alethanar in other campaigns, so that shouldn't be a surprise. Deadly Arcanite Assassin. Recruit the following heroes, Son of Murder. Are we able to build them? We're not able to build them.
Yes.
Nobody can build them right now. We have 10 turns to do that quest, and it's literally impossible, because to get... What do we need to get Sons of Murder?
Tyrant of Naggarond.
Get a Black Arc Reaver, if we can upgrade you to the next level, and we just need the money. Okay, well, money is, well, what we want then. Let's put you into Druchii First Strike to buff you up a little bit, head to Blacklight Tower. This should be not auto-resolvable because we need the battering ram build. That movement bug screwed us over a little bit, but oh well. If these guys come in and attack us, I'm sure we'll be fine. More importantly than that, oh, look at that. Gromby is actually going south through the desert. Honestly, I'd be very happy if he took this. He's probably going to get into a conflict with the Wood Elves, which I would also appreciate. Helibron. Looks like these guys did not move, which means you get to play today. And this looks like the last battle for these guys. Is it worth fighting? Pyrrhic victory, you say? That sounds like it's worth fighting to me. We got some trolls arrayed against us, and our Death Hag here has the Blood Cauldron, or Cauldron of Blood. I don't think that Helibron would have appreciated... Well, actually, no, she has her Cauldron of Blood, too. The Death Hag got it earlier, which is kind of nonsensical if you think about it, because Death Hags are Witch Elf priestesses, and the Blood Queen, Crone Helibron, is a Hag Queen, which is like a super priestess, as like an above Hag, or Death Hags, which means that she should have definitely had her Blood Cauldron first. Not that it's a big deal, mind you. Let's get Hag Queen for you. Upkeep reduction for Witch Elves and Sisters of Sol... Nope, I lied. You're gonna level up anyway. Let's get your replenished troops. And then we'll get Hag Queen because we're gonna buff up those numbers, or pump up those numbers. You... or Hedron. Let's get to you. If Conqueror, eh? I mean, we could go through Blade Master and Hard to hit. You know what? Weakness Abhorred is a fairly... That's a very good point. 8 melee defense and hit points, 10% for a single point. That's very nice. And, oh, you had 2 points. Well, let's get you Hard to hit. Alright, swell. And, ooh, 1 turn away from the Names of Power. I've always loved the Names of Power system with the Dark Elves. And I know it's random, but I like it more than I like the High Elf system, even though they get to pick. For some reason, especially because some of the Lords' Names of Power are absolutely obnoxiously good. There's one that just makes Shades absolutely bonkers, and there's another one that makes, the... We should really get this. There's another one that makes the Black Ark Corsairs absolutely bonkers as well. Anyway, that's all our money. That's a artisan's house here, and that's all we can do. So skip, no. We fight now. That is not all we can do. That's why I was leveling these guys. What are you doing, Ruinous? Fight. Alrighty, here we go. Too bad I couldn't quite hear what Hellebron was going to say there, but it probably wasn't much, or it was a word or two only. I am excited to make more use of Hellebron as we go. Of course, she needs her regeneration in order to be really unkillable, but a bunch of other traits would be helpful as well, but we'll get there eventually. Anyway, we are also deployed against the enemy in a terrain bonus less sort of map, as in we no longer have those impassable objects, minus this minor rock here, to rely upon, so we won't be able to get, unlike last battle, the Pit of Shades to do all of our work for us, which probably means it'll be pretty good fight. At least I would imagine. So, anyway, we're going to trundle on forward, but take the relatively little bit of extra elevation that we can get to get the advantage of that for our dark shards, but otherwise are going to annoy the enemy as best we can, both with via range and with Hellebron. She is going to sort of trundle forward, but then move all the way back. We want the enemy to move forward, and once again, without her regeneration, we're not going to leave her isolated to get picked off by the enemy javelin hunters. Anyway, looks like that worked sufficiently well, and the enemy marched towards us, the berserkers in particularly angrily booking it towards our main line, which we've deployed in such a way where we have blocks of dread spears forward, and then between them and the bleak swords and Harganeth executioners, with our single unit of Sisters of Slaughter and our 2 units of masters in the back acting as a reserve to wherever they're going to be needed most. And we already know where that will be, as this flank is relatively unprotected, only 2 units of dread spears there, and thus we're going to need to send extra units to deal with that. Anyway, the enemy has arrived, and the Blood Cauldron leads the spears as well as the Harganeth executioners forward against the Marauders together with the berserkers. And this should be a pretty good time for both of them. I mean, the Berserkers can still dish out a decent amount of damage, but they're not going to outkill Executioners, that's for sure. Ice Trolls coming back in, but Hellebron is there to sort of see that they don't cause too much damage, and we'll be focusing them down, even though she's more of an infantry blender, generally speaking. But I do imagine she'll still be doing decent amounts of damage to everybody around. I like the way the Ice Trolls look with the graphics settings I have. They look a lot nicer. Their skin looks a lot more rough, and I don't know, it looks more like troll skin to me. It's the vibrance, I think. Vibrance in combination with HDR causing this, as it makes colors pop a lot more, but didn't think that it would have such an effect on the texture of the skin. Very nice. Very nice, Ice Trolls. Makes me want to play Norska a little bit. Yeah, I feel like nobody ever votes for Norska. Oh well, not a big deal. We'll get to it eventually, as people get tired of campaigns that, of all the other campaigns that we do. Anyway, it looks like we have been managing to hold off the enemy over on this side fairly decently, and our Sisters of Slaughter are wading into... camera. My bad. I clicked the wrong... clicked the wrong area, and then the camera went somewhere else. And yeah, I've been wanting to get the Sisters of Slaughter into some action, so now we do. Not for very long, though, as it looks like those Marauders really don't want to fight them. The Sisters of Slaughter have a massive amount of melee defense on them, 78 on top of the melee that they cause. Really, if we can get the beast... if we can get a beast hero in this army to provide Pan's Impenetrable Pelt as well as the armor buff Wissen's Wild Form to both Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves, thereby countering their weaknesses, this army is going to be quite good. I've certainly grown a healthy respect for the beast lore in my current ongoing Croc-Gar campaign, where it's been very, very effective, and we've seen skink armies, which are generally pretty fragile, absolutely destroy armies that should be much stronger. So I expect the same sort of things from Hellebron's Witch Elves generally. Anyway, looks like we're doing pretty good. The bounce power is about 75% in our favor. As we can see, the Executioners are absolutely wrecking face, but they always do, and with a single strike at that, as that is their, well, that's what they're supposed to do. Kill everything with a single strike, and at the very least with regards to Marauders, they're capable of it, because their Marauders don't seem to have a crazy amount of HP. Alright. and they can enjoy it. I've always loved facing off against with elite units against like a single elite units against multiple and weaker units. Like it's what makes fighting horde factions really, really fun against the undead and against the Skaven. Holding off against tides of enemies is just so glorious. Anyway, it looks like the enemy lord has fallen. The 2 hunters have hunted them down with the help of the death hag, and with the death of the enemy lord, the enemy will break. A little bit of a short battle. Well, actually, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, not horrible. But we got to see those executioners do their thing, and a lot of melee combat. Not as focused on the lords this time around, but the lords got the focus last time, and the different forces in this army deserved their time in the, well, not quite sun, in the bleak light of Naggarond, I guess. Anyway, or Naggaroth, rather. Anyway, there we go. Gonna chase down a little bit of the enemies. I'm not entirely sure whether there's actually any benefit to doing so, but we're gonna do so anyway while we're capable of it. At the very least, the Death Hag and Hellebron should be fast enough on those blood cauldrons to take care of it. Just run, run enemies down. The way that these things attack has always been kind of funny. I know that in the for the newer factions, they've definitely made some fantastic animations. Like if we watch the War Shrines of Chaos, we see the sorcerer standing upon the War Shrines essentially leap off the War Shrine while holding on to like the banner or like a tusk or whatever, and then attack enemies while they're hanging off of it. The older factions with things like this, with the War Altar of Sigmar on Volkmar the Grim, they don't really do that. I mean, it looks like they get a little bit of a whipping going on, but otherwise not so much with the leaping attacks. And I hope that I wish that they would update some of these older things with those fantastic new animations. But anyway, I digress. We're going to continue chasing the enemies around, but the battle is over. Definitely did take some damage to our Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, but that's pretty much always going to be the case. Executioners also took a bit of damage, having lost 9 and about half their HP, though at least their model losses were relatively low, but clearly, and the Berserkers still managed to, at the very least, hurt them. Anyway, nice little fight for the last fight of the Mung. We won't be seeing too much more of them, and we will have to turn our attentions on another faction. Alrighty, very nice. I think we're getting some very fun battles, some good battles now. It's very much appreciated. Game, we got a very decent amount of slaves, money, and 10 Witch King's authority for a single battle. That is most definitely nice. I also noticed that the Executioners and the Sisters of Slaughter roughly kept pace with each other, which is at the very least in kills, with the Executioners slightly outdoing the Sisters, but yeah, very good job to the Sisters. One thing that you may not notice or may not appreciate about this is just looking at their base stats is their speed. They move at 50 speed rather than the standard infantry speeds, which allows them to act as both flankers and defenders and reposition themselves to where they're needed most. Plus, they're great at chasing enemies that are at standard infantry speeds, which obviously the Executioners can't do, even if they are much stronger in standard infantry mincing and their armor piercing as well. Anyway, we are going to... Ooh. Was this a tier 3? Damn, I no longer remember what tier this was, but if it's a tier 3, this is going to hurt. But on the other hand, honestly, I'd rather use the money to develop other provinces rather than these Chaos provinces up north, so... And you are down to tier 2, yeah, okay, so it was at tier 3. Well, we'll take it at a lower tier, but oh well. It's still a very nice amount of slaves and money for it. And it's not like we're going to be developing this province fast. This gives us another turn to raid as well, so a little bit more cash. And hey, sacking settlement buffs for Crone Hellebron. We'll need that on pretty much everybody. Okie dokie. Now I believe there's nothing else to do this turn, unless I'm mistaken. Malekith has to siege a Black Light Tower here, and nobody else can move, but now we do have a little bit more cash, so we should get some value out of it. We should also... Alright, so I think we need to pop the construction cost reduction diktat in the Road of Skulls, so we're going to do that right now. And then we're going to upgrade Harganeth itself at 3k. Ouch. Oh, wait, no. Sorceress building. We'll do that first, and then we'll do the other thing. Do we want to maybe build the Harpy building first? It's only 1650. It's really not that much. And all these buildings will still provide us little amounts of money. Oh, I see that the Dark Elf economy has essentially become similar to the Skaven economy with some slave economy flavor, rather, but the way that all buildings produce small amounts of money makes me think of the way that the Skaven work. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? Let's build the Harpy Roost and Naggarond. I think Naggarond is still going to be pumping out various types of units throughout the campaign, so that's not liable to change. Do we probably also want to upgrade the Dark Elf Harbor? Ugh, we have so many needs for money everywhere right now. Guild Halls or upgrade? We can't upgrade you right now. We'll need to upgrade Harganeth, but I think we will, I guess, upgrade you first. At 825, it's reasonably cheap, and we really need the money everywhere. Alrighty, and I believe that's all we can do. So skip, and I just want to double check. I did build the, yes, I did build the, as in the siege equipment, because it's most definitely needed right now. We're going to end the turn, and we're going to proceed. And Ava, yeah, you're going where you're supposed to be going. You keep doing that. And I guess we'll start recruiting as well. We'll start recruiting as soon as we. Oh, they're going to sally out. You poor fools. We're not gonna bother fighting that. It's a waste of our time. Another Wailing Banner. Okay, makes sense. If anybody's gonna have a Wailing Banner, it's probably these guys now. Ooh. I wanted to sack this, but because it's a main settlement and it has walls, the problem is obvious. We would have to waste another turn doing so. We could loot and occupy, which would give us half the amount of money. And the problem is it would also be a fairly significant destabilization, though we do have the control +5 for a while, and we can always pop a Diktat. It's a tier 2, so this is... although the repair costs... just loot and occupy. Whatever. Once again, I would have loved to have sacked it, but it's not going to work this time around. Is he going to betray? No, he wants a trade agreement. That's kind of funny. I would do that. I really would, Siggy. But we're going to betray you because you occupy territory that is useful to us. It's all green, even if it is all Chaos Wasteland. And we want to link up with Malice anyway. I hate having non-contiguous empires. Yes, we hear the whispers. This gives us a great buff at the end of this, even if it really, really hurts. Research rate especially, but yes, we can hear them. At least this is still one turn. Attribute cause fear and cause terror for Malekith. I would imagine the Blackguard cause fear but not terror, yes? Yes, we could give it to them or give it to a regular troop that doesn't cost either. Koran has his Dark Steed. And Confederation between the World Walkers and Vargan. Oh, that counted as winning a High Elf battle. Now, I don't remember, is this quest multiple parts or not? Well, either way, we're going to give this a quick read because I always do that in every campaign. Driven by an insatiable hatred, Malekith hungers for the vicious savagery of war. The High Elves, with their haughty and superior manner, are in dire need of reminding just how strong the Witch King of Naggaroth truly is. Their fear will be a delightful tonic indeed. Even were it not so, the methods of science and sorcery push him to battle regardless, for new runes decorate the metal encasing Malekith's burned and twisted flesh. It is said that only blood will activate their power, turning his metal prison into an even greater armor of unfathomable resistance. What better way then to access such power than to anoint the ruined plates of meteoric iron in the blood of his most hated foes? Indeed. Oh, and we just get it. Okay. That's one of the easiest armor quests. No more enchanted shields for you. Enjoy your armor of midnight. Oh, and this when we get all the... Oh, wow, Malekith, you have a lot of stuff. Damn. All right, well, I want to do the actual quest battles for these. Circlet of Iron, and Destroyer, and Supreme Spell Shield. Oh, that will mean that we'll have to lose the Satchel of Potions, won't we? Oh, well. Oh! It reduces magic cost reduction for Doombolt. Damn, I was going to skip Doombolt, but apparently we're not going to do so. I was thinking that we skip it in favor of just getting Soul Stealer and not going too deep into this tree, but if he has buffs to Doombolt, we'll probably have to then max it out, and if we're going 3 points into this part of the tree, we may as well get Arcane Conduit for the spell mastery. gonna have to be careful about running out of points, but we'll see. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna give you the armor. And then promptly distracted myself. Alrighty, well, you have the Blacklight Tower now. You can reach the Shrine of Ladriel, which is a tier 3, but rather than sacking it, perhaps we take it a tier 2. Oh, wow, 6.3k sack value. Oh, that does tempt me. That does tempt me. Either way, we're going to repair the Blacklight Tower. And I don't know how many... It's a very nice sack value, and it would enable us to build up our Black Ark as well. Also, Ava, go into Harganet for now, Sagales, stay there, and... you're able to take this now. Occupy. Auto-resolve and then occupy, I guess. Standard of discipline, not super useful to us, but okay. And don't bother looting it, even if it's a little bit of extra slaves. Slaver. Slaves 10 per turn, casualties captured, income from slave pens, all provinces, hello. Use the murder captives option post-battle. Okay, we're gonna have to do that every time. And Fimir Balefiend, use the murder okay, so we always want to murder captives, I get it. Malekith should have the Balefiend now. And Ironfrost Glacier secured, Mung destroyed, well done. We advance. Where's the Balefiend? You can't, only sorcerer, Malekith is a spellcaster, he should have the ability to carry these. A little bit annoying that he can't, but oh well. Hagren will hold on to it for now. We also want to get... I mean, both of these spells are quite nice. You know what? Let's get Earthing, because we currently have that significant debuff to our miscast base chance, so why not counteract it, right? Alright, well, who else needs to move? Furion, I believe you are no longer needed. Well, you know what? One more turn, I think, and then we'll get rid of you. And then we'll send you south. How are our allies doing? Gromby has taken Chimerica Spire. Still needs to go down to Plane of Spiders and Clarak Spire. Watch him destroy these guys. Would be lovely. I was actually hoping to take some of those territories ourselves so that we could then... trade them to him, but apparently that's not happening. Also, what's the control reduction from? Collected income and climate. Looks like we're going to need some more control bonuses. Minus 17. Oh, that's provincial instability. Okay. Damn, minus 17, though. We're going to need to pop another control dictat after a turn or so. What about here? Plus 2. The recruitment cost reduction, which would be quite useful. Here, it's probably going to go horribly bad, but whatever. Repair this. Let's delete the building. Let's upgrade Dagrak's End first. We're going to pop into and read Dark Portents. I'm tempted to switch out to Read Dark Portents here as well. We generally... or switch out of Read Dark Portents and into Demand Highborn Hostages. Yeah, we need the money, but at the same time, minus 17 is a little bit crazy. We don't have construction cost reduction, but fortunately the trading districts don't cost that much. We should probably build more slave buildings here, but I think for now we'll hold off on it in favor of just base income. You have the construction cost reduction, so let us upgrade the Dark Tower. And damn, we'll be just a little bit short of getting the Black Ark unless we sack, which means we probably should. Hag Grief, you need to be upgraded again because we need to keep making money out of the eye. 3k though. And you do have a dictat available still, so I guess we have to do it. Alright, there goes all of that cash that we saved up. But what can you do? Malekith, sack the shrine. Regardless of the fact that it may be beneficial to... Oh, really close victory. Well, there are some white lions there. Huh. Alright, maybe we fight this. I mean, I don't see this being too difficult for us, but I nonetheless kind of want to see the white lions in action. Who knows? If Naggarond doesn't have a proper stack anywhere, we may have some benefit of taking this battle. I don't see a Lethanar's army. Maybe he's trying to ambush somebody or something somewhere, but who knows. Oh! Also, these guys might loop around and attack the Blacklight Tower and reclaim it. Maybe we don't repair this for this turn, just in case they do, and then we'll retake it from them again, if we have to. Alright, I believe we are ready to fight. Malekith, do we need to apply the 0.75? Yeah, no, we're fine, we're fine. Let's get to it. We'll fight this one cinematically as well. Let's see those High Elves in action. Alrighty, here we go, and it is a Druchii first strike, as in we are going to get a lot of benefit out of this stance in this particular time. The enemy has deployed in such a way that our Vanguard deploy forces are all able to reach them. Malekith immediately casts a Blade Wind on those High Elven archers, which also clips the White Lions as well. Fantastic. And a lot of extra damage coming off of that. Maybe would have gotten a little bit more out of a Flame Storm right in the middle of the enemy formation, but unfortunately we didn't have the mana to cast the Flame Storm right away in the same way that we did the Blade Wind. Anyway, that's a decent amount of damage to the enemy to start the battle off, and the balance of power is immediately in our favor. Our range units are also going to be focusing the enemy range units down as fast as they can, as obviously this is a High Elven army, and especially in the early game High Elven armies, they are very, very reliant on those range units, though to be fair, we are as well. I'm excited to see how well the White Lions do here. I would have actually loved to pit them against the Executioners, but oh well, we'll do it later. Malekith moves in on his fast-moving Cold One and pops his Tormentor Sword on two of the enemy units of White Lions, stopping them in place. One to get focused down by our range units, and the other to get hit by Arnzapal's Black Horror, the scroll that Malekith is currently holding, which probably isn't going to do a crazy amount of damage to them, but at the very least it looks cool. And there we go, and yeah, it's done about, I don't know, 25% damage to the unit, which is a little bit surprising, but, you know, it's probably not going to give us a full superpowered version of a wind spell. It's a sort of a twilight map. I guess technically we're fighting in the dark, but it's still reasonably visible, so not too bad. Malek is getting into a little bit of a duel with the enemy lord out here, or the enemy noble, rather. And this is probably not going to go the noble's way, at least judging by the stats, although he is heckin' defensive with that 78 or now 73 melee defense that he has. Otherwise, it looks like the battle is most definitely going in our favor already. The enemy have lost a few units. The enemy Illyrian Reavers charged into our Dread Spears, only to get obliterated, and as we can see, we've taken care of most of the enemy range units already by focusing them down with our Dark Shards. Still, units of White Lions to contend with, and it looks like they will reach our line shortly. Malekith's going to give chase to the enemy noble, while the rest are left to fight. And we have also sent our Blackguard together with our masters up north. I was thinking that the enemy Illyrian Reavers would prove a little bit more problematic than they did, but apparently not the case. And I do wish we had the Blackguard to help out against the White Lions here and their great axes, but oh well. Yeah, this is very visible for a night map, I gotta say. And yeah, the HDR glinting off the light glinting off the armor is seems like quite a bit. I guess there's a heck of a lot of moonlight. Malekith casts a chill wind in the background, but it looks like most of the enemy units other than the White Lions have pretty much routed, and it's going to be a reasonably quick battle. Looks like the second unit of White Lions is done for already. We did manage to draw it forward into our battle lines in such a way that the Dark Shards were able to hit it without damaging our units, or at least not damaging them too much. And then there will be one unit of White Lions left to take care of, and the battle will be ours. Malekith continues the chase, but he's not contributing to the fight here, so we don't really need to watch him. And there we go. Looks like, by judging by the fact that these guys are no longer attacking, they are done. The army has shattered, and the battle is ours. Lovely. Obviously an easy battle, but I really wanted to see the White Lions in action, if nothing else, and that we did manage to do. Not much work for our Blackguard this time around, as they are pretty much at full HP and unharmed, but not to worry, I'm sure we'll get better battles for them soon. Most likely by the time we betray Silostra, she will have her Rotting Leviathan mount, and I'd love to see how well these guys can handle taking on big old Crabby Boy. Anyway, we're gonna give chase. We also have our Dark Riders, though they weren't crazy useful in this particular battle, as the enemy army was destroyed via Druchii first strike primarily, and not so much these guys had an opportunity to essentially get around the enemy and fire their crossbows into their sides or backs, but I'm sure that'll happen when we have a battle. Damn, these guys ride fast. Almost as fast as the camera. When we get another battle where we actually have to struggle a little bit more. Still, One of the reasons I wanted them in this army was to be able to chase stuff down, as we don't have access to any more chariots or Cold One Knights, and they can certainly help with that a little bit. Not that we necessarily need it here, but there were definitely battles, and will continue to be battles where we do need to. And I definitely will probably build a very cavalry-heavy army at some point, including a skirmisher cav like like these guys, though maybe Malekith deserves some Doomfire Warlocks, not entirely sure. Actually, no, because of the prophecy that he would be slain by a male sorcerer, we would... he probably wouldn't want Doomfire Warlocks in his army. Anyway, a decisive victory for us, and the war against Naggarond truly begins. Let's hope that they get a proper army up and running so that we can get a proper fight from them before they're gone for good. Alrighty, there we go. Not a bad little fight. Certainly shows how devastating Druchii First Strike can be, especially when the enemy deploys in the way that they did here, and allowed us to do so much damage before they could turn and wheel the entire army around towards us, and allowed Malekith to get a very nice blade wind going right, well, maybe not in the middle of their formation, but certainly hitting a decent amount of units. Good damage all around, but it was mostly the range units that did the work, plus Malekith's spell casting, and it looks like our cav caught a decent amount of enemies as well. We're going to sack the place, mostly because it's worth a lot, even though it will probably be more costly to rebuild it after, but this is not a critical territory in the same way that our others are, and is too close to the potential fighting, so we'll do this. You're gonna go back into regular mode, and you're gonna occupy the shrine. Occupy, please. And there we are. Alrighty, can we repair this? We didn't repair Blacklight Tower. Maybe we repair this one because Malekith is here. I guess it depends on what Felindra has to do next turn. We'll want to move to Slaver's Point. In fact, yeah, Naggarond is, they're doing pretty poorly right now. They're done for. Huh. Watch Current Car take this. Before we get there. We really need to betray the, we really need to betray these guys, don't we? Well, either way, that gave us a decent amount of cash, and thus we will be getting the next level of the Black Arc and the sweet upkeep reduction. And that it gives 25% at max level, which is very nice. And at level 2, we'll start being able to build a Sacrificial Pit, Soul Brazier, and Brazen Cauldron that will buff up the Black Arc support, which I just realized we didn't have here. You, Black Arc, gonna head out here so that Malekith can heal up a little bit more. Not that he really needs it. Alright, and back to Dread Expansion, please, and you are still upgrading. Beautiful. Alright, now Malekith, you are rank 10, you need rank 12 for War Leader, which is what we're headed towards, so we'll wait on that one. And nobody else can move this turn. Sagalis, or Furion rather. Furion and Sagalis don't need to move, and we don't need to do anything with them at the current time. Okie dokie. Oh, although, with our public order falling, that means in a few turns, after a few turns of this, maybe we'll do the quest battle in order to get that cash. I want to see if there's anything else we can build to give us some more cash per turn at the current time. We do need more slaves here. A Naggarond. I think we don't want the Halls of Ravaging here. We want them here in the Dark Cauldron. Oh, speaking of, Crafting District. There we go. Found something that'll give us more money. Palace of Ruin. It's my favorite palace. Dark Hold for you. Expensive, but, you know. And then we will build another one of these artisans' houses here. Once again, not a crazy amount of money, but hopefully worth our time. Okay, and we'll take a look at commandments again next turn. I think you're actually fairly decent in terms of your public order. We don't have to switch you in the same manner that we do here because of the massive amount of provincial instability. You're probably okay as well, Iron Foothills. Oh, you're already on demand Highborn Hostages, which is probably why you're okay. These places. Well, you know what? We don't need to read Dark Portents here anymore. We can go demand Highborn Hostages for it to build up. What about here? You know what? You will get one turn of benefit for Crone Hellebron here, so we'll wait until next turn to switch. And Revel in Suffering is also about to be up. Swellity. Damage building, outpost available, hero not moved. Which hero has not moved? Oh, Sagalis, yeah, but he's here to build a higher level of the Altar of Cain at a lower price, so he's not going to move right now. And Black Ark. Now, it's going to take a while for us to be able to get the Warrior Hull and those Reaper Bolt Throwers, but oh well. That's on the turn. Oh yes, Alethanar is back. Oh, I'm so glad of this. Okay, Karandkar, please don't kill him this turn. I would really appreciate it if you did not kill him this turn. Wulfric wants to declare war on us. Okay. You're kind of far, man. Well, I guess we'll go to we'll go to Albion. Somebody said that there was a landmark for us there. I don't know if they meant the Ogham Stones, which are available to most factions, or whether there's a unique landmark there. The Rakarth used to start in Albion after all, so maybe there is still a landmark from that. But anyway, call your allies to help. Do we need this? Yeah, sure. I'm always wary of doing call your allies to help just in case one of them breaks the alliance. Gromby, don't do it, man. Loyal again, Furion, Swell for Furion. There's that Revel in Suffering up and running. Deadwood's about to rebel. Where is Deadwood? Okay, don't collect income. -2. Still negative, eh? Does this call for Malekith pop in his quest battle? Maybe. Maybe. We certainly don't have time to fight another cinematic battle this episode. And this one, ooh, we got Lothar and Seaguard, we got Alethanar with his army. This one will be worth a cinematic battle, so I think we will we'll save it for next time, especially since we won't have access to Druchii First Strike, and thus it might be a little bit more of a toughie. Hopefully we can move the Black Ark close enough to actually provide Black Ark support for it as well, since we didn't have it there that time. Alright, then let's finish up whatever admin that we have left of this episode. Crone Hellebron, you're gonna march stance here, I guess? You know what? No, this is what we're gonna do. We're going to move Furion. We're going to take away his Opal Amulet, but he can keep his Evil Choir Master. Then we're going to march stance him into this province. What I want to do is I want to see if there's another full stack nearby, because if we march stance Crone Hellebron, I'm wary of these guys instantly attacking her. But no, it doesn't look like it. Which means, Hellebron, you're going all the way to here, close to Eldar's Spire. We're going to then delete Furion, because we no longer need him here, and we can always get him back in another place. There's nothing he has that's faction-wide, right? Well, if he does, he doesn't have access to it at the current time, so goodbye for now. And stop costing us money. Alright, you're gonna wait there. And yeah, we're definitely gonna have to use another army to build up her, Witch Elf troop, because it's gonna be a while before she returns here. Also, they're incredibly expensive. Also, you're in the wrong place, aren't you? Wait. This is capacity. Oh, we still need the tier 3 to actually recruit them, don't we? Wait, now. Unlocks recruitment of Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves. My bad, my bad.
Well.
Oh, yeah. I just saw that. What are you doing, Ruinous? Yeah, we'll build all of these, but at the expense right now, it's probably not the best idea. The Spite Reach or Harganeth? I was just wondering whether we should move you or not. No, it doesn't look like it. Alrighty, so I think with that, I am going to call the episode here. Next time, we will attack Alethanar with Malekith for defensive alliance with you. No, Karandkar, no thank you. That's not gonna happen. I'd rather confed you at some point. We'll probably attack Alethanar, and we may or may not fight the quest for the Circlet of Iron just to get that public order back up and running. We shall see. Depending on the degree to which the other provinces drop, Deadwood looks like it's going to rebel, so we could solve that by doing that, or just pop the Diktat, assuming the other places are okay in terms of their public order. Otherwise, Crone Hellebron will advance southward to Elder Spire and Dracula Spire. We may actually keep these for ourselves, depending, because they're part of the Altar of Ultimate Darkness province, depending on whether Gromby can get to Dracula Spire before we can, which I guess we're going to have to see. Honestly, if he just holds the desert, as well as some of these mountainous territories, that would be perfectly fine by me. It's also kind of funny how we were going to send Hellebron this way and Malekith south, but it's kind of going to be the opposite, as Hellebron's going to probably continue southward for a little while, and Malekith, once done here, will probably march north towards Chaos, while Hellebron loops back around to attack Clarkarond when we start fighting the Drowned, but that's going to have a 10-turn pause, as we can't attack them immediately after breaking our non-aggression pact. Anyway, more Malekith to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to drop those likes and comments, especially to the 330 threshold if you want to see the faster updates on this campaign. All glory to the algorithm, and have a miserable day.